So there comes a point of time in your life where you want to like hang your boots, put your feet up and do absolutely nothing. But that's not what happened with my guest today. She didn't hang her boots, she didn't put her feet up. In fact, she wore her sneakers, her belted kurta, her bindi, which became a beacon for millions to follow and really, really created a comedy empire. I'm talking about a bona fide success story, an inspirational success story, someone who I have the privilege and pleasure of calling a dear friend. With me today in conversation is Zarna Garg.
Whoa, I wasn't ready for that intro. I think we should stop right here and quit while we're ahead.
Shall we just stop right now?
I mean, you can't top that intro.
My love story with you began in the pandemic. It's to do with you, pineapples, talking a whole lot of, should I just say it, nonsense, with your family. And
Some call it wisdom, but fine.
yeah, okay, all right, fine. We'll leave it to that. Then.
Yes.
With your family, cutting pineapples and dissing your mother-in-law, and like everyone was hooked. I said, this is not just somebody who's making us laugh. And I'm going to say a line that I truly believe about very funny people. And I will translate it for those who can't speak Hindi. It's Kaifi Azmi's words in a film that was called Arth. It's tum itna jo muskura rahe ho, kya gham hai jo chupa rahe ho, which translates to the amount you smile, what is the sadness you're truly hiding. So I believe it's tum itna jo muskura rahe ho, kya gham hai jo chupa rahe ho. So Zarna, I know on your very famous book already, on the charts, book like bestseller, which is a 1 in a billion memoir, already speaks about your life.
Yeah.
We also on various shows you've spoken about it, even on your special, which is right now streaming on Hulu, Practical People Win. And guys, you got to watch it. It's a hoot, but also makes you cry. This journey, I know you've spoken about it a lot, but now today you're back home.
Yeah.
We're right now sitting in Bandra, Mumbai. This is where life really began. What is the feeling, firstly?
I'm American now, so I have trauma.
At this point of time, politically, everyone in America has trauma.
Yes. A lot of anxiety because I left Mumbai in very complicated circumstances. I never wanted to leave Mumbai. I was a happy South Bombay girl. So coming back is painful. And I came kicking and screaming. I mean, I did not want to perform here, did not want to meet anybody. I was very happy doing my thing where I do it. And just destiny, destiny kept throwing signals, little breadcrumbs. Come back, let's try this, let's try a small version, let's try an iteration. And then a friendship with you happened. It's been such a beautiful revelation that people are enjoying my work here. Yeah. I did not expect it. I honestly did not expect it. I thought I would be a total pariah in India. Nobody would care about my humor. I mean, I do all these things that are not Indian things. I say things about my mother-in-law. I talk about my father-in-law too, actually, and his testicles.
I mean, really, maybe your father-in-law's testicles are not relatable, but everybody and their grandmothers discuss their mother-in-law.
Yes,
so I think that is the way you struck and identified. And your poor mother-in-law,
you don't know her.
I mean, I don't know her, but
she could be the world's biggest wicked wench. You don't know that.
Yeah, I just feel like nobody can be that bad. And the fact that you came out okay, and the fact that your 3 kids are gorgeous and wonderful, that your husband still loves you, there's got to be some contribution.
We don't use the L word in our world, but we're married.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's no L then.
No.
And the F went a long time ago.
No,
then.
never. It never happened.
It never happened. The 3 Bhagwan ka deen.
We're Indian though.
Yeah.
This is not just me.
Yeah. So
no one does it.
That God just sends.
Yeah, like mine came floating down the Hudson River.
Yes, literally. All 3 of them. All three of them. Yes. Apparently, if you're Indian, there's no such thing as sex. We don't have sex. No, we don't. We don't talk about it. We don't do it. We just Bhagwan ka din is like God's blessings. Yes. Anyway, recently when you performed in Bombay at Rang Sharda and hallelujah, we saw the mother-in-law.
Yes.
And let me tell you, from what I've heard, I wasn't there unfortunately, she looked mighty pleased. You think she's enjoying the attention?
She is loving it. She's like a pig in mud. She's rolling around in it everywhere she goes. She's like, you're the mother-in-law? And she's like, yes, you want to talk to me? I've been doing press this whole week. And people are coming and going, and she's of course staying in the room right
Yes.
next to me, because why not?
Yeah, of course.
And she's like, if you want my perspective, I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you come to Bombay, you check into a hotel, you
Yeah.
fly your mother-in-law from Delhi to
Yeah.
stay with you.
Yeah.
That means you're a good daughter-in-law. You're trying to hide that.
I'm trying to do the bare minimum, Karan.
Okay, that's like-
bare minimum. My kids they don't have grandparents on my side. There's
Yeah,
no one there.
yeah.
So I feel like this is the minimum I can do, is be like, I didn't imply them business or anything from Delhi.
Right.
It's like, sit in the last row. You're fine.
What definitely strikes me as being supremely new for an Indian mom, for moms in general, is like how you beautifully embraced and enveloped your 3 children into your work format. Now, many in India would argue that, is that the right thing to do? Your daughter has a degree in computer engineering. She's kind of dumped that. It is now handling your life. Dumped, I say, from the Indian perspective. But when the 3 of them speak, and I've heard them, met them, and lovely, lovely kids, so well brought up, they seem to kind of have a whole rationale about it. And you want to share that perspective, because that's new for an Indian mom.
So when we started the videos that the whole world watches, there was no plan for us to become an entertainment family at all. The idea was, I will keep chipping away at the stand-up rock, and wherever that takes me. They were just trying to help me write stories. During COVID, all the clubs were closed. There was a limit to how much material we could generate on a stage. And we were just doing our thing. And I actually live the life of a mother. Like, I'm in the kitchen all day. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing all of it. So a lot of videos that are shot really in real time, in real conversations. What ended up happening is, as those videos grew, everybody wanted to know, well, what does your son think? What does your daughter think? What are the other perspectives besides me ranting about what I'm saying? So we then, on a whim, launched this podcast. It was
Right.
like, why don't you hear from them
Yeah.
what they think, instead of me paraphrasing? Because also my kids didn't trust me. There were trust issues there. They're like, Mom, you're not going to tell them what we think.
So they have to articulate exactly what they want.
Yeah, they were like,
But
we
from
will
what
do.
I've heard, for people who watch stand-up sets and like been huge stand-up fans and have watched all this, everyone walked out of your show in Mumbai saying that what an absolutely brilliant format to bring the family, to bring the podcast, the live podcast in a comedy set, like, was actually a genius combination of the two.
Well, because you have to create new things, first of all. And I think the family experience is dying. At least in the US, there are no live family events. Everywhere you
because
go.
I'm not sure families are all together anyway.
But even if they want to be, there's no place to go. The adults do their things and the kids do their things. Like, you could go to Disney where the parents are miserable and the kids are happy. Or you drag your kids to all these adult things where they don't really want to be there.
Yeah.
So there's really no family format. And as a mom who spent as many years as I did only focusing on my kids, 16 years of all I did was this kid's class. I did Holi, Diwali in everybody's school, all the neighborhood schools. I was missing that people actually want to be together. Even the teenagers in my world want to actually be with their parents and have fun together. There's just no place. So I was thinking, what's a venue that I can create where people can come? I mean, my shows are for ambitious families. It's not
Yes.
even just families.
Sure.
These are families that want to build together, that like have big dreams, that want to open up their world in new ways. So on a whim, we tried a live podcast show. I was like, you know what, let's sell tickets to this and see what happens
Right.
in New York. And of course, that sold out, the day we announced those tickets. It was a small room, but for a brand new format, it was new.
Yeah.
People were like booking tickets for their 10-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids, and everybody was coming together. And I felt like we were hitting a new market. We were hitting this new nerve. We were creating a new opportunity for families to bond. What we saw was families bonding with each other while they were waiting for the show to start or after the show, because it also became sort of a networking venue.
Right.
We in America don't even have those options anymore.
Yeah.
Even every Holi, Diwali, Manhattan, it's like the adults go alone. It's very depressing.
What I love, Zarna, about the lens on this is that, prior to this, and without, of course, taking away from anybody else's achievement, the kind of interpretation in this social scenario of how Indians live, the diaspora live abroad. We like when the show comes out and we talk about matchmaking. There's a certain lens, okay, that how we view our community. This way, we see the entrepreneurial side.
Yeah.
We see the business aspect. We see the ambition. We see the family ambition. We see the brilliant integration of tradition, value system, and the ability to actually be a family startup. And I think that is a great lensing.
I mean, Indian people, we do.
No, I mean, I have to say that you also are playing part-time matchmaker, but we won't get into that.
We can at some point.
We will at some point.
I'm exceptional.
Yeah.
Before he offers his opinion, I'm an exceptional matchmaker. If you can get me to agree to get involved.
I'm really sorry to break everyone's
A+.
Nothing. I want to tell you, a very big failure at that. Possibly her only failure story is that of a matchmaker, but this is not about you failing. This is about you constantly achieving.
No, but we will talk about me failing because
Okay.
I've failed at a lot of things.
No, that I know. And I know you've addressed it and spoken about it, but you also laugh at it.
Yeah.
And you laugh at it, and you also somewhere feel like those failures actually set you up for this,
Yeah.
and which everyone says. Like everyone says, oh, failure is a climbing stone to success.
Yeah.
But all these read very well.
Yeah.
They're all great quotes like fail till you succeed, don't lose hope. And I'm like, firstly, like F1 tells us, hope is not a strategy.
Yeah.
It is just not a strategy.
No.
And failure is not a stepping stone. Failure is failure.
And it's
I want to tell you.
painful.
And it is awful. It's painful. It's very tough to rise from there. No inspirational quote, no book, podcast can tell you how awful it feels when you fail. So when you say you failed 16 times,
Yeah.
that was not easy, Zarna.
When my youngest was in kindergarten, which is the first time he's in school full time, I really wanted to get back to work.
Yeah.
See, I had lost so much making my way to America. My family, my father, it's a lot that I gave up to build the life that was there. And I was caught in a life of just being consumed by motherhood. Everything was like somebody else's happiness. His class, his activity, and they were all winning, by the way. So whatever I was doing as a mother was in theory working, but I was miserable. My husband would watch me and be like, you are angry all the time. Like, What is happening? There's a famous story about this in my book where I put the wrong sock on my kid's foot and he couldn't play one of the big games in his league. And I came home and I lashed out at everybody. Nobody's allowed to touch socks in this house. I started carrying socks every sock in the house went with me everywhere I went.
Oh, God.
Because I didn't want to get it wrong again. It was so traumatic for me that we're standing there and my kid who prepared for this game was like, you can't because your mom messed up. When that reached a peak, my husband took me in the room, not in a sexy way, and he's like, what are you doing? What have you become? Did you come here to America for this? The football, the violin, the soccer, what is going on with you? And who cares about the socks? And why are you wasting your life on this? And I was like, you don't understand. This is what I deal with. And, this is how women raise these superstar kids. And he was like, let them not be superstars. Live your life. And he said to me, I don't know if I can continue living with you if you're going to be like this. And that was the first wake-up call because he doesn't speak much. And he's not really allowed to have feelings. So the fact that he had these strong feelings caught me off guard and I had to sit down and be like, what am I doing and what has my life become? So I started thinking, what can I do? A corporate job was still out of the question because I have too many responsibilities in my home.
Yeah, you have a law degree as well.
I am. I'm licensed to practice. I'm very bad at it. I don't like to talk about it. I'm really bad at it. Don't ever hire me.
Yeah.
Ever. Not even for free. I mean, I joke that at one point all my clients were in jail, but it was true. It's true. Sometimes God sends you hints.
Yeah. That's not a hint. That's like get out of here kind of like.
See, I'm an obsessive learner. Obsessive. My whole life, I've been reading newspapers, business books. Every business book I've read. Since I was 10 or 12, every business magazine. I was like, I'm going to start a business. How hard can this be? I'll create something that I can sell. And then I tried, and it is very hard.
Yeah.
It is very, very hard to buy low and sell high. It is very hard to buy something or make something and convince people that it has value at this price. So I tried all kinds of things. The only thing I truly give myself credit for is that I knew when to cut my losses. All those years of reading taught me to never put bad money behind good money.
Yeah.
Good money behind bad money.
Right.
That when you know it's not working, don't get attached to it.
Get out of there.
Get out of it. Forget what anybody has to say. Forget what anybody is going to think or feel and the humiliation that comes with it. The right move, the pros, get out of it. It's like a surgical extraction almost. And I am proud of the fact that I did that. And I was failing at everything very openly because my kids were watching, everything. And my daughter said to me, she goes, Mom, you're trying these products and services, but really people just want to hang out with you because you have these amazing stories. Even my son, who was a 14-year-old at the time, was like, all my friends want to hang out at our house and they always ask me, is your mom around? Is your mom around? Can we tell her what happened with our dating life? Like, can we get her perspective? Because my stories, and I was being serious. I'm never trying to be funny. Yeah. I am actually yelling at these kids. I mean, like, don't do this. This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But they find it funny.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, how the first break into the idea that comedy should be a part of my life.
Do you remember the first performance? I know that you were at like stations, underground stations, and even scaring the other homeless people away. Like you've done all that. I know you were at Central Park at one point, and you've tried.
I had an Auntie Zarna tree in Central Park for a year and a half during COVID.
Yeah, where you went and and whoever was there was hearing you out.
Every evening at 4 o'clock, we put on a show for free.
Yeah.
My kids would carry the mic and the speaker. My daughter would roll the wagon with bottles of water. Yeah. And whoever came, it started with 2 people, a dog, an ambulance, a helicopter. And then the last show we did before New York opened up, we had 200 families came out. It was the Diwali show in 2021.
Wow. And then do you remember your first stage performance?
Yeah, I went to an open mic on the Upper West Side in Manhattan because a friend of mine had heard that we have a mom friend who does something in comedy. That was the extent of what we knew about comedy. None of us had been to a show. I mean, we're Indian. We don't go out for fun.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? SAT prep class, I've got that.
Yeah.
Which corner, which building, who's the expert, I can tell you everything. Fun, never tried it. But they told me, oh, this mom friend of ours, this Jewish mom friend, she's like running some comedy thing, go there. And I went and I'm watching and it's like, what is this open mic thing? People are coming up one at a time and doing 5 minutes of whatever they've prepared. They're bringing little pieces of paper. And I'm watching and I'm like, this is a job? Like, white people do this? Like, could you imagine like, thinking this is a job? My whole family is doctors. Like, every job made people cry in my family. Nobody was ever happy
anymore.
People came home, they were like, this one died, that one kidney didn't work. That's what I'm used to thinking of when I think job. And then here I am, like in the middle of a Wednesday, and all these people are just like laughing about random things. And still, I'm watching and I'm like, okay, like this must be some American thing. And I was about to leave the room and the mom who was running it, she said, you're already here, why don't you do 5 minutes? And I was like, but 5 minutes of what? Like, I don't know what you want me to do. She's like, just get on stage and talk about whatever you think is funny. So I was like, all right, I'll trash my mother-in-law.
Yeah, yeah, why not?
Who doesn't think that's funny?
Yeah.
And I got on stage and I just started saying random, like, my mother-in-law, these were all true stories, but words that were in my mind. I was like, she always says to my husband, like, I sent you to IIT so you could marry her.
Yeah.
And people were just dying.
Yeah.
They've never seen this.
Yes.
Do that.
Yes.
Because mother-in-law jokes are very common in the United States, right? Like, it's a trope that has existed for a long time, but nobody has seen it in this version.
No.
And that became the day where I was like, I felt a click from the universe, because the more I did, the more random things I said, the more people were like, I could see it, like everybody was on edge, like what is she going to say next? And everything that my whole life I was told not to say, I had to unleash.
Yeah.
Because, here in India, my whole life was like, don't say it, please don't say it. Please do not tell anybody what you think about the sari and the kurta. I have opinions about everything, right?
Yeah.
But my whole life was about, please don't say it. Please don't say it. And that day was like
So did you feel like there was some kind of a two things. One, did you feel like a eureka moment about like, I can do this and this can be a life I can lead doing this? And secondly, that I've let go of all the baggage that I've held on to of being like totally bottled emotionally and being restricted to say what I feel. And that moment in front of that open mic audience, it kind of just all felt correct.
That day, all I felt was like, whoa, what is this? I wasn't thinking career. I was just like, what is
Even
this?
though you got all the laughs?
Yeah, but so I got the laughs, I got off the stage, and this is New York City. And New York City is the world capital of comedy. The bar is
Very
extremely high. Like the best of the best don't get stage time there. So I got off the stage, and the booker, who is now my friend, this woman, said to me, "You're very, very funny, but you don't have jokes." And I was like, "But I made everybody laugh." And she said, "But these are not jokes." So like a good A+ Indian student, I went running home and I Googled, what is a joke? Because I had no idea. Like, you say, oh, you want to tell a joke, I want to tell a joke. We've used the word, but like, I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
And then I went home and I was like, oh, there's like a structure to this. It's a setup, there's a punchline, there's a misdirection, there is a surprise, it's like a mathematical equation almost. And that's the first day I said, can I do that? Like, can I write one? Like, should I try to write one and fit this format? Like a mathematical equation? And I sat down and I wrote my first 5-minute set. And then the rule in New York is, to start comedy, you have to do a bringer show. So you can only get on stage in the lowest grade of clubs, any club, if you bring 5 people who will buy food and drink at the club.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you can't bring 5 people, you can't get on.
You had 5 people, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't know that because my Instagram back then was 100 people and they were all parents of my kids' friends.
Yeah.
So I put a very rustic flyer saying, if 5 of you agree to come, and I will pay for your food and drink, because I felt bad.
Yeah.
Why should they, I said, I'll pay for your food and drink. If 5 of you can make time to come, they'll let me get on stage. And they're very strict about it, Karan.
Yeah.
They're like, if you have 4, they turn you out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's how many people are trying to get on stage there.
Right.
So it makes sense. So I put that flyer and I forgot about it. And 1 or 2 moms texted me and said, I'll be there. So I was feeling like, this might work out. Like 5 people might show up. So I show up at the open mic and 96 people were there. People had driven in from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. They were like, we heard there's an Indian mom, mother-in-law jokes thing happening here. I was like, who are all you people? Then the booker got mad and said, who are all these people? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. And she's like, I can't seat all these people. Like, we don't have enough room. So we took 5 of my friends, one of whom, a Zarna Garg, who was my first ever cheerleader. And I did my 5 minutes and I killed, which was unexpected. But the other 91, I seated upstairs in a restaurant. Because I felt so bad that people had driven from all over.
Yeah.
So they all came and there was not enough seating. 91 people in Manhattan, right?
Yeah.
So we literally stood outside the restaurant and I did the whole set outside the restaurant for them.
Wow.
And all these people are just standing there, like hanging on to every word coming out of my mouth.
Wow. I wonder
I
what that
was like-
makes you feel.
I still don't know because usually people ignore me. My own kids, they see me. I swear to God, I pay for everybody's phone and all they do is hit ignore when they see my name on it.
Well, welcome to motherhood.
Yes.
And now in my case, both motherhood and fatherhood, I know the feeling.
You
I
know the feeling, right? I was at the time, I was applying to Uber, got rejected as an Uber driver.
You wanted to be an Uber driver?
Yeah, I was trying for that. I was so desperate to make money, Karan. I think people don't understand. When you're a stay-at-home mom, and this probably will speak to a lot of women who watch this, if all you're doing is raising your kids, you're stripped of your self-esteem.
Yeah.
You have nothing left. You feel like you have no value. That the world is moving on without you and you've been left behind somewhere. And I thought that the only way I could even attempt to have some value is by making some money of my own. I was so desperate. I was willing to do anything, anywhere, any job. No job was below me. But somehow nothing was working. Uber was advertising all over Manhattan, $1,000 a week. And I was like, great, I'll drive all night. I'll be a mom all day, I'll drive all night. And when I got rejected, I was shocked and
Why
quite
were you
frankly
rejected?
offended.
Why
I have no idea. You know, I got one of those, "You're so impressive, but," you know those letters?
Yeah.
And I was like, me with my pristine record and my Mercedes, and I offered.
That all got rejected. Wow.
And meanwhile, this comedy thing, I was getting unending texts that like, when is your next show? I'm like, I don't have a show. I have 5 minutes of nonsense.
And then it just began.
But it just, then of course the club also saw, right? See,
Yeah,
ticket sales
Is
gets
everything.
people buzzing.
Yeah, of course.
Then other clubs started, hey, do an open mic here.
Yeah.
You know, bring as many people as you want.
Yeah, obviously, because they realized that you were like this. You were literally like bee to honey.
You don't understand, like, because India is such a community culture and getting 5 people doesn't feel daunting here, right? In the US, most of my friends can't get 2 people. Bichara, they're begging, please come, we'll buy your drink, we'll pay your ticket, we'll pay your subway
Because
ticket.
everything there is by appointment, and and you need to give them a huge amount of like a heads up in terms of time.
And their time is very important,
Yes.
and the whole thing. So,
But then they haven't met like an absolutely maverick entrepreneurial Indian woman, because she can manage anything.
I was like, sure, you know, every club started calling me. They're like, and Desi's 12 p.m. in the afternoon, Mike, like at a time that no one on earth is doing comedy.
Yeah.
The Indian Mantis were like, sure, we'll come.
Yeah.
So it became like this crazy thing that we were like, afternoon show, lunchtime event, lunch and laughs, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, that will happen. But meanwhile, I'm trying these other real jobs. But nothing here was working. And this thing was just growing and growing without any attention being paid to it, which is then, you know.
Well, that began, what began as like, as you said, something that you couldn't believe that was actually a job, became like somehow a bona fide, like I said right at the top, an empire for you.
Yeah.
It leads itself to multiple packed shows across America and the world. You've literally been everywhere. So there's something that actually I've been wanting to know. Was it strategic, this image branding, positioning exercise about this auntie, like you call yourself, Auntie Z, the bindi, the salwar kurta, the Indian look, and that? Is there an exotification of India that is also a big part of the success?
The branding was strategic, but not for that reason.
Right.
Once I understood what I was doing, I understood also that the way to be funny is to be 100% yourself. You have to own every inch of who you are to like deliver at that level, right? Your brain cannot at all be distracted by, is my leg showing? Is this angle somebody photographing me from here? Or is this outfit too tight? You have to be 100% you.
And this was always you.
Give who you are.
Yeah.
So when I was sitting there and thinking, what gives me the most power? If I had a dream outfit, what would I be wearing? And to me, that was a cotton kurta, a cotton pajama. I'm this. And I always saw myself wearing a bindi. That was also strategic because comedy flyers, when you are on a lineup of other people's shows, not your own show, have headshots. And now what is the easiest way to stand out?
Right.
You know.
Because this is so beautiful.
And it's like
really
the Indian woman, done. Like it costs nothing. It's so me also.
As Anand Bakshi famous says, "Ye duniya ek dulhan, dulhan ki mathe ki bindiya, ye mera India."
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember the words, but yes.
Yes.
And to me now, it's shocking to me that the other women don't use it, because standing out on a flyer is a really important thing. It's a really important thing to be able to say.
Every other woman, my dear Zarna Garg, doesn't have your brain, doesn't have your instinct, doesn't have your impulse, doesn't have your drive, doesn't have your ambition. And I think that is what is so deeply inspirational about your story. What began in a kitchen ended up in a packed stadium. Yeah. I mean, like, that is a humongous success story. And I know
Not for
you've
my
heard it.
mother-in-law, but yeah.
Yeah, well, let's just face it, she's also very famous.
Yes.
And if someone gave my mother an option that if I was dissing her and she would become really famous, she would go for it.
She would go, and she
go
would
for it.
kill.
And she
Now
would
that
kill.
I've met her, she
Yeah,
would kill.
yeah. My mother is an original OG stand-up,
Yes.
with just, of course, some stage fright. But what is strategically next for you?
I am fully committed now to building the biggest South Asian inspired global comedy brand, a family comedy brand. I love when families laugh together. I love when families build together. I love families with ambition. I love kids who want to conquer the world and help their families and their communities come up together. I've realized now that that is something that my heart has been in for, the whole time I've had kids. And now we're going to be at the front of that revolution. I don't like what's going on in Hollywood. I don't like the trends. I don't like the trends of isolating people and keeping them lonely on their devices constantly. And I know it's an uphill battle.
Yes.
Because that allure is real. Like, everybody wants to lock into their devices individually. And there is space for that. Like, I mean, no one is more addicted than me.
I mean, like, did you see the new meme or rather image floating around on the internet about the fourth monkey? The see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, and the fourth one is on the phone.
Yes. I mean, that would be me.
Yeah.
So there is space for that.
Yes.
But I believe there is also space for what I'm proposing. I believe that there is, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it live. I see it everywhere I go. My kids were not planning to become kids in entertainment ever. And I don't even know now what they're going to end up doing, what their role will be. But they are watching everywhere we go, the outpouring of love for what we do, the messages we get of like, you inspire our family to do this project together, or you opened the door to this conversation, or, whatever. So this feels like what I've been anointed to do.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and I think that ambition is beyond amazing to have, because I think that not only will it inspire other families, but just people in general, who kind of feel like what can we do as a community, and how do we break the shackles of our own self-inflicted traditions, sometimes, or just what we're emulating from our forefathers and parents. And like, I think you can go beyond that.
Not really even thinking, just on autopilot. Like, I talk a lot about learning to find my voice from American women in America. And that is true. My life in India was like, don't say this, don't say that. Very consistent with a lot of lives. But what I have taught America is the value of community. And that I learned from India. The value of having a home base that your heart belongs to, that you feel comfortable in, a soft place to land when things go wrong, where you're not burdening anybody every time, things go sideways. And the reason a lot of people want to collaborate with me there is because I'm even giving like executives relief.
Yeah.
Like, even the Hollywood execs that I sit across the table from, I can feel their blood pressure go down when I tell them, we could do this another way. Like, this doesn't have to be a meeting in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
We could meet over dinner and just chat as friends.
Yeah.
And invite 2-3 other friends and just get opinions. It doesn't have to be a paid focus group.
Yeah.
I mean, my open mics are mostly my own friends.
Yeah.
You sit at a dinner table, you try out a joke, it works. What's the difference?
Yeah.
But that informal community doesn't exist in the West. What you do at your house, what I was lucky enough to do at your house, it's so spectacularly unusual abroad.
Oh, really?
Yes, even when the dinner parties happen, right? It's so formal. Everybody's like, you sit here, what course will you have? You don't even know it because it's so part of your life here.
Yeah.
You have it all the time. But I have brought that there and really like opened the world to this idea that we can do so many things together and be successful at it. And I'm really proud of it because it's the Bombayite in me, it's the Indian in me that brought that out. If I was all New York, I would be like, sure, let's do a Zoom.
I'm so glad that you're back and you're back where it all began.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that you're taking a slice of this city and all the cushioning that family gave you, and some of it that wasn't very, very comfortable also. But whatever it is, that life experience, and then you left at 18, you created a life for yourself in another country, and now the 2.0 version of your life takes over. Who very rarely do second chances really happen. And I feel there'll be a third and there'll be a fourth. Somehow I feel like this is just the intermission, like a good old fashioned Hindi film.
Yeah.
We're at the midpoint of your life. And everyone knows it's the second half that truly makes a film special. And I think that the second half of your life is going to be spectacular. I can feel it in my bones. And I think that literally the book, the podcast, the Hulu special, the packed auditoriums, all this is still like literally just like the beginning. And there's so much more to follow. For now, at this particular trip, I know you're speaking about the Hulu show. Anything you want to say as a last thought about this absolutely hugely breakthrough success story on Hulu, about what that feels like?
It feels great, and I think everybody needs my advice.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Why
you know
not?
what I mean?
Yes, because
Like,
the world just needs to listen to you and nothing else.
I mean, listen, I'm doing God's work here.
Yes, of course.
And my special is not just comedy, that's the side piece.
Yeah.
It's life-changing advice on how to live.
Yeah.
All your problems, all your anxiety, you don't need a therapist. You've got the world's leading almost therapist.
Yeah. So I mean, here we have God, visiting us.
I didn't
and
say it,
like,
but if you
yeah,
insist.
So I mean, like Hulu doesn't even know that they have the blessings of the goddess herself, who has arrived with her theories on how to live your life, how to live your best life, how you can actually maneuver any circumstance by bitching about your mother-in-law, and how you can drag your children out of their so-called careers and actually use them for your own career. So there's so much that there is to learn from this Hulu.
So much.
Hulu
All that
special.
and more.
Yes, and then she says practical people win. None of this, my darling, is practical. I want to tell you.
What are you
just
talking
made it.
about?
You just made it work.
Yeah,
you just made it work.
But it's all Indian advice. It's all stuff every Indian mother is saying to
Yes.
their kids.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like,
yeah.
it just
And let me tell you, Indian mothers are brahmastras. Like they are like weapons of mass destruction. They can like literally annihilate anything with their wisdom, with their kindness, solid beating heart. Zarna Garg is all that and so much more. Zarna, it was such a pleasure chatting with you, and congratulations for your mammoth achievements across boards, like literally and across verticals. And as I said, this is still the midpoint and so much more to come. Thank you for being in conversation with me, and I feel blessed.
Thank
Lots
you.
of love and more power to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Thank you.